Are you able to hear now? Am I audible? Hello? Are you are you able to hear now? Am I audible? Are you able to hear now? Am I audible? Okay, fine. So if anything breaks in between, you can text in the chat box. Fine. So today's discussion will be on digital forensic and incident response in Indian scenario. So this is a domain breaking into DFIR carriers. What is required is you need the basic skills in digital forensics and you need a bare minimal experience in digital forensics. These two are required for job seekers in India. So we'll just quickly walk through what all the skills required and what all the experience required. We'll have some examples of cases that are happening in real world, right? And what's going to be our contribution for this? We'll just quickly walk through. So I'm Ashok Kumar Mohan, founder and director of Kriya1. So we are into this domain over a decade, like working with law enforcement, individuals, companies on supporting solving cybercrime related incidents, offenses. In industry terms, we call it as DFIR, digital forensic and incident response. So we'll start with what is DFIR. Those who are new to this, you might have heard of cybercrime investigation, cyber forensics. So DFIR is typically digital forensic and incident response. In layman terms, we call it as cybercrime investigations. Right? So roughly a statistic says like in India, there are roughly around 3,000 cybercrimes reported every day. That is going unresolved. Fine. Why? Why? Because it's like we are badly in need of digital forensic experts, typically digital detectives in today's world. Even we'll see some examples, right? Government and private sectors are actively hiring DFIR professionals. So as we are into this domain, like 10 years before when we started our careers, right? So when we search for a job in digital forensic or incident response, there will be rarely one or two jobs which will expect 3 to 5 years of experience. But nowadays, even freshers with 0 to 6 months or 1 year intern experience or basic experiences are being hired by government and private sectors, right? So what is done in this? What people do, what investigators do in digital forensics in investigation? Starting from tracing hackers, whatever we see on the hyped words on the internet, right? Hackers hacking accounts, taking down accounts, compromising websites and on, to recovering deleted data, right? So deleted data that's being recovered from n number of storage devices, your mobile, cloud, hard disk and on. And it's one of the fastest growing career paths. So you see here lately, last month, fine. So Maharashtra police have just given a open statement. They are hiring cyber forensic investigators, right? So they have put their official notification in their websites. Maybe in the upcoming slides we'll see that, right? So they say like they're actively hiring cyber forensic investigators in India, right? So this is the stand of what is digital forensic and incident response. And quickly we'll walk through, right? This is revolving in and around cyber crimes. At least in Indian scenario, it's typically unlawful act, right? When a computer is used, either you use a computer, a mobile, or anywhere where the data is involved. Either you just store, transmit, or modify data, right? And computer is used as a tool or target, a typical definition of cybercrime. You see the listed, right? Starting from unauthorized access, hacking, n number of cybercrimes are listed here, and the most offensive, child pornography, cyber terrorism, are also highlighted here. So these are all the cybercrimes, Indian scenario, and even in global scenario, it is applicable, which we see on the industry. Right? Just a minute. So that's what digital forensic and incident response, right? Typically solving cyber crimes or support solving cyber crimes. And this is no way related to tracing or tracking someone and no way related to finding the location of someone, right? That only very few law enforcement agencies will be doing. DFIR or digital investigation or cybercrime investigation in layman terms, right? It's typically working with evidences. We take it as an evidence. You take a hard disk, an email, a cloud data, right? Everything will be an evidence. We'll learn like what is an evidence, how to handle an evidence, how to analyze an evidence, how to make a report over the evidence. Hmm? So we'll start with the skill set, right? So as we lately informed, so to get into this domain, we need skills and experience, right? So basic skills we need with respect to digital forensics, and we need experience like 6 months or 1 year in this domain. So what we need to learn in the basics of networks, operating systems, file systems, that is needed. Core tools, we talk about n number of open source and commercial tools, FTK Imager, Wireshark, Autopsy, Volatility, and n number of tools that are used in the industry for solving cybercrime cases. And knowing about legal and soft skills with respect to IR, what is chain of custody, what is report rating, what is IT Act, what are all the relevant cyber laws, some bits and pieces of that has to be known. If you know a scripting language like Python, if you know something on threat intelligence, if you know how to analyze a cloud log, that's going to be a bonus skill, an added advantage. But foundation, we need the technical foundation of computing. We need to know about tools and techniques. We need to know about the legal and soft skills with respect to digital forensics. And we have taken a couple of screenshots from the most common job search websites. Indeed, maybe just before starting the session, I was searching this. It claims that they have some 300 plus jobs in digital forensics. Fine, different jurisdictions. I've taken only one. Fine. So why we have taken this is just to know what all the skills expected by the industry when they are hiring someone for digital forensics. So that's what this is taken. This is typically called as a JD, job description, right? So whenever you apply for a job, let's take an example of this digital forensic. So if these skills or techniques or at least these keywords, whichever is mentioned, this is there in your resume. If you have really learned and added that in your resume, obviously you will be having an added advantage of clearing that interview, right? So what this JD says, hey, we are hiring skilled digital forensic analyst for our team. Fine. What is expected from the candidate? They need to do forensic examinations, digital devices, computers, servers, clouds, and even online accounts like O365. So what they are going to do, they are going to collect, they are going to preserve, they are going to analyze the evidence. You go to the crime scene, find 2 pen drives, 2 hard disks, you are collecting it. You take it to the forensic lab. Before that, we have some best practices of preserving the evidence. The data should not be deleted. And finally, we use either open source, in most of the times commercial tools to analyze the evidence. You're getting a mobile, you want to prove what happened last week Friday in this mobile. What all the outgoing calls, what all the incoming calls, what application was installed, what was uninstalled. That comes under the analysis phase where we use tools. And that is to be followed with the protocols and procedures. You cannot randomly take a mobile and put a tool and analyze. If you have learned correctly, you'll clearly say, hey, this is an Android device, this tool technique will work. Here, this is an iPhone, this tool technique will work. That comes in experience, fine. And finally, what is needed by the investigator? They need to create a timeline. As I said, we need to go back what happened last week Friday using this computer or using this mobile. We need to be able to timeline the event with the digital evidences. For that, we'll be using digital forensic tools and techniques, right? So they recover deleted data, hidden data, sometimes encrypted data. Most of the tools that are used in the market are highly paid commercial tools. And when we learn, we'll be learning something on the open source tools, commercial trials of the tools, right? At the end of the thing, so you should be able to document the findings. Whenever you get into digital forensic as a fresher, right? 0 to 6 years or 1 year, right? So you'll be asked to document finding. You'll just go with an investigator, you'll just take the notes and finally come and make a document. What happened in the crime scene, how this mobile was analyzed, how the data was recovered, everything will be there in the document. So forensic examination, collecting and preserving evidence, timelining it, using tools and techniques, documenting findings. These are all the basic things or the basic skills required to be a digital forensic analyst. Fine. So we have a couple of versions. One is on the full 1 month and we have it on the Kickstarter version. What is Kickstarter? If you go out and claim that, say, hey, I know something on digital forensics, right? So what is digital forensics? Some introduction. Keywords and jargons, we'll be walking through the top 10 keywords, right? When we talk about digital forensics, we talk about imaging, we talk about hashing, we talk about affidavit. We need to know the top 10 keywords. What are the steps in digital forensics, right? There are 5, 7, 10 different models of steps involved in digital forensics. And finally, the tools and techniques used in digital forensics, right? So these are the basic things. When we talk about skills, we need to know about introduction, what is digital forensics, in at least in Indian jurisdiction, how it is happening. Then the keywords and jargons, then the steps in digital forensics, then the tools and techniques we categorize as open source tools and the commercial tools. This is bare minimal required to know about the skills. Skills, you just find what is an evidence, analyze the evidence, report the evidence, right? Irrespective of the domain. Now we'll just jump on to the experience part. DFIR jobs, at least in India, they expect minimum 6 months to 1 year of experience. Where these jobs are there, you see here, some of the government agencies recently started hiring for these jobs. You see here, Maharashtra Cyber Police started their recruitment drive for cybercrime investigators. So this was the actual JD given by them, the job description given by them, the various roles and responsibilities. Fine. You see here the experience they expect bare minimal 6 months, 1 year, 2 year, and the pay scale difference will be there. As we have already seen earlier, right? This is the cybersecurity analyst job role. From beginner to intermediate, you see at the bottom there are some advanced job roles of 5 years, 8 years, 10 years. But the expectation will be bare minimal knowing what is digital forensics, the tools and techniques, and the 6 months or 1 year experience in this domain. Fine. You see here the recent trends, like what all the government agencies which are putting some postings publicly on their forums, hiring for digital forensics. So we got an idea, right? So from the basic discussion which we are having now, we got an idea. We need to have the skills, we need to have the experience. These two things we need to have to get into this domain, right? So experience comes in hand after gathering the basic skills. What are digital forensic tools? What are the evidences? How to handle them? How to make a report? How to analyze few use cases, right? So we'll see some use cases, right? We'll just take in some use cases which are driven by normal digital forensics and current day AI driven cyber crimes, right? So we'll quickly walk through that phase. Traditional cyber frauds now, and that is supported by AI tech in near future, or its powered thing. You see here, a few years ago, our Prime Minister's Twitter account was compromised and it was used for propagating some cryptocurrencies. And you see the hacker who hacked or compromised the account gave an open statement. HCK India at tutanato.com. If you have come through about Tutanato is an encrypted anonymous mail server. So they have publicly put saying that, hey, I was the one who hacked into this account and this is my mail ID. So even you might have heard of some cases in your regional saying that some people are just threatening schools for bombing and on. They use these sort of anonymous emailers, right? So analyzing or doing a digital forensic investigation is not only scanning the email on the surface level and saying who sent and what is sent. We need to have, or will be having difficulties like this, having to analyze encrypted mail servers, anonymous mail servers. The complexity goes on. And the second scenario you see here, hackers compromise, get into the website or their server, they dump the whole database and they put it online. See, this was one of the highest database that was there on the industry. And you see this keyword, if you have heard this lately, SEO, search engine optimization, is a technique in which you are listing your website on the top of the ranking, right? So we are talking about SEO poisoning. See, one of the recent cases in which, see, this company was forged, fake account is confirmed, you need to pay this amount. Someone who paid the amount also to some account, fine. And finally they come to know saying that, hey, the account was fake account. The website was fake. The brand was the original brand, the company name. But the account, the email IDs, the websites created was fake account. And you see here lately in Twitter, maybe 4-5 months ago, a leading agency, typically the health insurance agency, their data was completely hacked, breached and compromised, and that was leaked online. And you see here 7 terabytes of data was leaked, and our team was also investigating them. We lately archived it. If you have heard of this website, Wayback Archive, we store the websites for future purpose, because after the, let's say it was on September 20th morning somewhere around 4 to 7, right? That day this fake website came in, but next day the website was closed. For investigating purposes, what we do, we go to this website, we'll archive it. Typically we'll store a copy of the website that was there 3 months, 6 months ago, but we need to archive every now and then. And you see, we have just quickly walked through some cases, right? So typically that's what happens in real world. So what we talk about OTP frauds, we talk about financial frauds on layman terms are the 10 to 20% of the crimes. Majority of the crimes are happening between corporates. One company is spying on other companies. Companies hire forensic analysts not to solve OTP crimes. They don't hire not to solve any fake accounts, right? So they hire digital forensic analysts for identifying if there are anything is going wrong in their system, or else if any compromise or hack is happened. If it is happened, they go for an incident response. Fine. Okay. So with respect to this basics, right? So what we have formulated here is, we have formulated a couple of courses here. One is on 1 month and another one is on 3 hours. If you believe that, sir, I want to know what is digital forensic in a nutshell, maybe 2 to 3 hours. The 3 hours course with certification will suit you as we have shown, right? So you'll be starting with introduction, keywords, basic steps and tools and techniques. But if you feel like, sir, I want to take it as a career, right? If you want to go as a full 1 month course every day, 1 hour, we'll be talking about different domains. We'll talk about hard disk investigation, mobile investigation, cloud investigation, dark web monitoring, right? So all these things we'll take it as a complete 1 month course. So we have it as a 1 month course and we have it as a 3 hours course also. So we have these bundles available. Fine. So what we'll be seeing in this, so based upon our team's experience, expertise they have created over a decade, right? We'll be discussing about what is the crime, how it happened, what are the tools and techniques, what is the open source tool, what's the commercial tool, how to solve it, a sample template on solving the case, and discussing about the use cases in real world, right? So if you want to know more about this, right, so you can just very well get in touch with our team. You can just put a WhatsApp to CFIR, just type CFIR, that is Cyber Forensic and Incident Response, to our official number 9719301930. Our team will get back to you with the details about this course, right? Hopefully this 3 hours course will be on next week, and this 1 month course will be starting this month end, right? So it's going to be like mixed. We'll be discussing about the concepts, what all the concepts required for digital forensics, the basics. Then we'll be discussing about the tools and techniques and some real world use cases. Okay. So before we just get off, so whenever you want to file a cybercrime complaint, right? Typically, irrespective of this discussion, right? So if you have been victimized, if your relatives has been victimized, right? So the one and the most common official website for Indian government is cybercrime.gov.in, and 1930 is the toll free of Indian government, right? So and also we have private firms like ours, right, who are just supporting law enforcement, supporting companies on making technical reports. Typically we call this forensic report, right? So that you can get in touch with our team. And these are the other services starting from professional data recovery. We provide international certifications, awareness and training, BAPT, IT audits, and the final thing is which we are discussing today, corporate investigation and fraud risk management. So this is in a nutshell with all just sort of discussing with you about today's DFIR. So if you have any questions, queries, you can put in the chat box. We'll just try to answer it. And if you want to know about the date, time, and other things, right, we can very well get in touch with the team with the number which you see here on the screen, right? The team will update on batches, availability of the courses, right? Timings, everything will be done. So as we discussed, right? So to get into digital forensics, we barely need the basic skill sets. Again, you can start with a self-study, you can start with a certification like this, right? So it purely depends upon anyone can explain what is an hard disk, but having an experience to discuss on what is there in the hard disk, how it is discussed, discussing a couple of use cases comes with expertise. Fine. So if you want to get into digital forensics, start with a skill set, right? Knowing the basics of digital forensics, and the second recommendations will be typically based upon the experience. So even we being a cyber forensic investigating company, right? We also have the same criteria, minimum 6 months to 1 year experience. But how to get the 6 months, 1 year experience? You start with an internship. Many of the government agencies are giving internship. Private companies are just giving internships on this domain, 6 months or 1 year. So obviously you'll be mandated to get an experience for the first 6 months or 1 year, right? So then, as we have seen in the earlier slides, right, you can just go hunt for jobs. Your resume should match the skill set, job description that is given there, and we can follow up with that. Okay. So fine. There are some few questions in the chat box discussing about the course availability. So we can just very well get in touch with our team 9719301930. Okay, someone is asking about null community. Yeah, there's a null meet this weekend. You can ask, you can connect to the same number to know about the null meet. Fine. So we just started discussing this in a nutshell, maybe quickly in this half an hour. Fine. So digital forensic is a broad domain that is picking up the momentum in India. We are seeing government agencies, private companies started hiring digital forensic investigators, but their expectation will be bare minimal, knowing about the skills, right? Having a knowledge about the tools and techniques, and then getting the bare minimal experience, intern experience or a basic work experience, right? That is a mandate. Okay. So if you have any further questions, queries, you can just text the number which you see here on the screen. That is our support team, Kriya1 support team 9719301930. We'll get all additional details about the 3 hours fast track course, which you will get to know what is digital forensics, whether I can just start a career in digital forensic or not. The second course will be a complete 25 hours, 1 month course on completely analyzing the bits and pieces of all the domains in digital forensics. Fine. Okay. Fine. So you can just text the team, or else you can just type in the chat box to know more about this. Fine. So if you don't have further questions, queries, we'll end this live. Our team will be available with the numbers that is listed. Thank you. Thank you all.